we had Blitzkrieg over. Doesn't seem like that long ago, but how did it go? How was that? As an event?
It was pretty an amazing weekend, to be honest. Well, first of all, I want to thank the Outback for opening the doors to us, because we had a late cancellation for the venue we were going to use in Laxey. I won't mention them because, for obvious reasons. But they opened the doors to us, and we used the smoking area and the little bar at the back, and it turned out to be a great gig. And they're looking to utilise it again for another gig. So there's bands out there if you want to go down anywhere during the summer. Check out the Outback.
And the other night was in the Rovers. Was that right? If I remember rightly.
Yeah, the other one was in the Rovers. That was a good night as well. We had a Mad Daddy, which we hadn't played with for a while, and now they've got a big harmonica player, which just completely changed it, and it was amazing. Absolutely packed as most of the times. Rovers are always good for us, put on most of our gigs that we do. So big up to them as well, I guess.
I was kind of blown away for the entire weekend, like the amount of people that came out to watch it. Even like the old school punks who you don't see out every now and again. It's like someone's dad. They're nicely dressed, but they're just jumping around, rocking about like mad. It was brilliant. It was great to see.
So feedback pretty good on the whole.
Very good, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it could have gone.
And from the band, they mentioned that they'd love to come back. So there's obviously going to be another gig from Blitzkrieg in the Isle of Man at some stage.
Excellent stuff. And so, looking ahead then to this weekend, sort of the next instalment, I suppose, really. Twist, if you could tell us a bit about what's coming up.
Yeah, the next band that we've got over is a band called Riskee and the Ridicule, which I just discovered randomly last year at a festival in Czech Republic, which is called Mighty Sounds. We just randomly wandered into their set and I was blown away. It's really great. It's a grime punk, so it's really fast, like upbeat music, covered by like ridiculous, fast, political rap. And it was just something that just blew me away. And I was like, saw them a couple of weeks ago on Facebook or something, a couple of months. And they were like, we're bringing out a new album. We need to play around. Where do you want us to play? And I was just like, just randomly come play on the Isle of Man. Within like 10 minutes, they'd messaged me like, yeah, we'd be up for that. And we were like, didn't expect that to work. Fair enough. Like, let's get organised and get something on the go.
So have you listened to much of their stuff since? Is there much online people can hear?
Yeah, they've got all of their back catalogue is on Bandcamp for free, so you can just stream it for free there. You can download the album. Their new album is coming out. I think it's actually released the day after they play here. But they've already got a new single on YouTube and stuff like that. And yeah.
So tell us a bit about the plans for the weekend. Maybe if I come to you guys, what's in store?
From Thursday onwards, we've got a thing in Compton Vault to start with, but there's actually another like group semi-over. Like one of the guys lives here, but his duo thing is they do like French patois, dancehall reggae. And they're playing in Compton Vault on the open mic night on Thursday, and we've done a bit in TT week with them. And then we're playing with these guys on Friday, which is going to be exciting. It's about on the beach and the bay in Port Erin. So
yeah, you guys played there last week, was it?
Yeah, and the week before.
And the week before, we're going to be like residents.
Yeah, so they know more about the stage than we do.
But yeah, the stage is great. Big, open. There's a bar nearby, loads of toilets, great pizza.
You can get a beer from the bay and walk out with your plastics.
Or the co-op.
Or
get your tinnies out.
Yeah.
So how weather dependent is that sort of an event?
The stage is pretty good. It's pretty waterproof. So
it's got the benefit that it's close enough to the wall for the seawall that you've got a dance area, and the sound coming into the dance
mosh
area, mosh pit area is amazing. It holds the bass, the top end of the sound is great there.
When you fall over, you land on sand.
Yeah.
I suppose sometimes with outdoor venues, maybe the sound gets a bit lost. Does it? That'd be fair.
If you stood up on the promenade bit, then some of the bass doesn't quite transfer through. But I actually found it really nice because you can be stood on behind the wall and the sound is not, a lot of it's not overbearing. A lot of the time you find yourself at a gig and I have that moment where it's, whoa, that's a bit much. You can just step behind the wall and it's fine. And literally 2 foot forward, down on the beach, that's where the sound is if you really want to immerse yourself. And again, like if it's just that little bit much behind the wall, you've just literally feet behind you. You've got the pub. You can sit down in the smoking area and enjoy it. You can still see the stage
and get a pizza.
But
yeah, the last couple of times we played, we did the sound independently, and we managed to make it fine. Like work, sound good enough. We got sound check doing it this time, so you can pretty much guarantee the sound quality of the place would be great.
It's got some overhead cover as well for the stage, so your gear's fairly safe. And like I said, because it's between the wall and the stage, that dance area, it's got a fairly decent wind cover for it as well, just that backing of the stage.
And we've never been rained off, despite weather forecast. We've got a good record. I need to touch wood. I believe in it. It will be dry.
You've mentioned you've got some people in to come and do the setup. For those perhaps who don't know, is that quite a difficult task then, is it?
It can be. It
involves bringing thousands of pounds worth of equipment and asking someone to work for a few hours.
Typically, bars and clubs don't really have insurance for the thousands of pounds of gear that you bring. A lot of people don't consider it. Like, Soundcheck are amazing. The fact that they will help local artists and they will help particularly the kids, but they've rescued our butts when we've been in trouble many times.
A few times. I was a Soundcheck kid when I was 13, so and they still help me now, like nearly 20 years later, so it's amazing.
The fact that they will turn up with a van with thousands of pounds worth of equipment that we'd never be able to afford on our own. We could all gig for the next year, put all our money together, maybe we could share a system between us and then no one use it because we all have a gig the same night.
And they have got the knowledge and the will to use it, which is refreshing, to say the least.
Jenny does a really good job, to be honest. Like she runs it very like military wise, and she's always offering anything and everything that you need for gigs. So.
Yeah,
can't thank him enough for most of the stuff that she does even for our gigs and stuff.
It's an all-day event, family event. What time you said it's going to start?
About 6 o'clock.
About 6 o'clock. So they'll be working from like 6 till midnight as well. So they're a great charity, and people should be.
They'll be
throwing
bringing
loads
the
of money
gear
at
down.
them.
They'll be setting up. It's before 6.
Yeah, we'll be down from like 3 o'clock or something.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a bit just before we came on, Mike, that it's going to be a bit more of a family occasion.
Well,
what are the plans?
Well, the plans are mainly initially we were trying to get something out on the beach anyway, but because it's outdoors, you can, like, people want to come down and watch the bands, bring the kids as well because it's outdoors. The kids can run around and enjoy themselves, have a bit of pizza, like the lad said, and watch the bands. And there's also youth bands playing as well that night, so their mates will be coming down to see them as well. Yeah,
we've had a lot of problems with trying to get your music out to a younger audience, is that obviously kids can't get into pubs and stuff like that, so they don't really get to see a lot of what bands on the island have to offer.
And it's hard being a kid to play themselves.
Yeah.
It was easier when we were young because there was a lot more venues on that were open to kids playing or doing things.
So I think Jenny's used the basement or something beforehand for youth gigs, but there's not much happening, to be honest, for the youth.
No,
it's basically just try and give them a chance to play as well, along with big acts that we're bringing over, so it's amazing for the kids.
Yeah, so we've got about 4 youth bands at the moment, which I believe are Stella Rattle, Spaghetti and the Hoops, Skeptic and the Scrubs.
Spaghetti and the Hoops is a great name.
That is great. Great meal as well.
So just finally then, go through with us the sort of itinerary and the times for the weekend, and obviously where can people find out more?
Well, they can find out more on Facebook. The event's posted up on Facebook and stuff, and we'll be posting it around and throughout. Well, obviously yourselves on the radio, but it'll be starting off from about 6 o'clock with the youth bands. Shortly after that, I think who's going on? It'll be the 2 lads here, Hannah Fex,
Jor-DMC,
Innuendo Orchestra.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Followed by ourselves, Crotch Slice, and
Crotch
obviously the headline is Riskee and the Ridicule, and we'll just run on until it runs on.
Yeah.
Until we get told to stop.
And then the Saturday we will have Ash F and Effie is doing a little beatboxing thing to start us off. And then we have TBC, which I believe is a great guy. I'm sure he's going to do well. And then we've got Crotch Slice and Riskee and the Ridicule again.
And that's down in the Rovers Return.